We had 3 of these exact. All right, go.
All right, go. All right, so when we fuller, we have our section, and we're gonna come in and drive a V in. When we drive that V in, it will cause our section, it causes this corner to go out. So our section will then look like this. Our foot surface width will not change, okay? So what we end up with is a section that from there to there is quite thin, okay? So when we hem, what we're looking to do, we want to actually thin the inside out, so every time I hit a shoe, I'm thinning the inside, and I want to thicken my outside and put a slight bevel on it. Because our hammer does more work than the anvil, that obviously happens when we do the hemming on the anvil. We're going through the full thickness of the stock. Now when we drive our V into here and this corner comes out, our section will now have this shape to it, like so. Okay? That's why we have to hem, thinning this out, thickening that, and a slight bevel, so that we end up with a section like that when we're done. Right? So where's that 3/4 fuller? So the true test to a 3/4 fuller, and I'm not gonna quite have it. I didn't work my branch enough. But if you take this and you run your ruler on it, you can see that shoe's actually seated out. Okay? But it's not. My fuller does the same thing. Rock and place, and rock and place, and rock and place, and rock and place. So it's not just a rock. It's an actual, sure enough, intentionality placement with my fuller. Okay? Like, that's a huge part of it. Intentionality, big deal.
Keep tuck one of you guys in that one.
We're taking your time when you're marking it out. Make sure you're right. Because there's no fixing it. Okay? And we'll hem that up.
I feel like I rushed. So when we hem, it's like a turn heel, and the way that we're going to start behind and work up to. And we're going to turn our section slightly towards the ground, so we're hemming the outside and the inside edge. And I'm going to work up to the start of my fuller. And I'm just putting a slight angle on it, and I'm going to work up to my quarter, through my quarter. I'm going to set my quarter, and work away from my quarter. Okay, so again, and I'm overlapping. I'm not hitting very hard, but I'm hitting fast. So with hemming, it has to match our fullering. And what I mean by that is our fullering is going to be more or less to the full thickness of the stock, right? So when we hem, what we're doing is, you can see, if you look here, I've got a bevel all the way around where I'm going to fuller through the full thickness of that stock. And you can see, because I started behind and worked up to, my hemming starts exactly where my fullering is. What happens if you try to hem right where your fullering is with your first hammer blow is you end up with that little indent right there, right? Yeah.
So you have to work up to it with the heel of your hammer. That's the only way to get that done.
Okay.
Now the true test in a 3/4 fuller is the thickness of your stock. So if you look here, that's pretty much 3/8. If you look there, look how thick my stock's starting to get. Okay. So what? You don't have a pencil, do you?
Like a pencil, I don't.
Alright, cool. When we're all done, if we get a chance, I'll draw that out for you. Alright, so try to get to that point, okay? Clean that up and around. Hold line with my opposite branch. Come in here. And I just drop my left hand in my right pocket.
have a completed shoe with very minimal effort. Okay. Now, I'm not going to put a lot of time in shaping because now I'm not going to put a lot of time in shaping, and the reason for that being is because when I hem, I'm going to finish my shaping.
What are you watching making your line?
Okay. Every time when I start my fuller, I'm paying attention to that front quarter inch of my fuller. Because this fuller has an arc.
That's just on your mark.
It's just on my mark. Because you have to pay attention at the very beginning, because you'll notice a lot of times your fuller will drift out or
Correct.
fall
That's
out.
where I'm having the trouble.
Yes, sir. So you have to pay attention when you do your first blow.
You're following the front edge.
At the first blow.
Okay.
The first blow or your last blow, depending on. Right?
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing.
You're in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, I come here, I'm focusing that quarter inch is lining up parallel with that quarter inch. After that point, the center quarter inch is lining up with each one of those quarter inch marks. So when I come here and I hit that there, my quarter inch mark, I'm making sure is perfectly parallel with that quarter inch. Now when I come here, again, this quarter inch is matching up with that quarter inch perfectly. And the other thing is, fuller ends are like walking a balance beam. Okay? And the way that you have to look to begin, you try to fuller and look here where things happen.
You dadgummit!
Sorry.
Oh yeah, they got you stuck.
Yeah, we had Dutch, so WCB wasn't on our radar.
Are you guys working at this station? Yes, sir, we are. Just, if you know the rule, if I'm in the way, push. Hey, you know. It wouldn't be the first time somebody caught me on fire for being in the way. Yeah.
Before we move on to the next step, and also this is our inside
Fix this.
Yes, I fixed this right here. So when you were doing your,
Got a hump in it.
yes, sir, and that came from when you were holding here, you kind of let yourself go. Now, and you were going to come,
Stay parallel.
yes, sir. And you were going to come and you were going to fix it here. The problem with that is that I work on really bad marks. Now this is an inside branch, so we're going to have to run it up just a little bit because we offset that tip. Just run that up.
That'll be a little crazy.
You want to point this camera for me for a little bit?
Dinner ready up there.
It's a very decent. Tag it compassionate.
So right here, one second. So if we can, point our tongs in line with the way the pressure's going to go in. You try to pull that around. Now hit that. Whoa. You feel that? So you want to point your tongs in the direction it's going to go.
Okay. I gotta fix this here.
I don't think it needs too much fixing. It doesn't need too much.
Well, it looks like my shoes a half-inch shorter this way.
We have a hip.
Yeah, but you don't try to come back to balance.
It doesn't matter. One's just an area shot, so as long as you were running one of them, the other one was just doing it.
Fix that.
Perfect. Thank you. As long as it's not on the ground when I get back, you can't do it wrong.
So we're building an inside and an outside. Now we also had a bunch of marks on here. Now with an inside and outside, our inside branch is going to be shorter than our outside branch. Okay, so I'm not
So it
just,
is.
yeah, I'm not just horribly upset about where that's at right now.
Okay.
So I think I would go ahead and get my fuller and mark.
This should be boxed a little better here
A little bit,
to meet this corners.
a little bit better heel check wouldn't hurt, but you know we're.
Just clean it.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, we're so I think what I'd start with is let's go ahead and get our fuller and marked. Let's get our fuller and marked, and then you can hem it. Okay. So mark our fuller in. We're going to be just outside center. Go. Now you can go ahead and hem that up, get it hot, hem that up, and then I'll fuller my branch, you fuller your branch. I think it's been nice.
Everybody wanted to get involved too.
Yeah, I think so.
And some people want to come.
It allows you to get your good hard stock.
I play doubles. But you know what? You have to keep all your practice. You ever start getting discouraged?
So now that we've done that, now we'll come in, gather up our section, build our thickness into the shoe, come on around it, and flatten it. So by building that thickness, it allows us to flatten it out. See where I'm focusing around that inside, and that'll crispen it up. Okay? So you want to go ahead and do that inside?
Okay, sure. So where am I going to come from?
All depends on which fuller you want to use. You just got to make a decision on what you want to do.
They got nailed on.
So you want a fuller at 90, you're going to use this fuller. They just point in the opposite direction, right? So one is set up so you fuller at 90 degrees, and one is set up so you fuller at 0. Don't let it forward. Your arms aren't ready. Just put on back. They're the same exact fuller that's put on. No, I wouldn't do that. You have a fuller.
All right, if I started out with this shoe and I'm on this side, we'll come.
Yes, sir.
We'll start here.
Yep.
And come around.
Yep. But always stay at 90 degrees. So bend your knees a bit, and you'll be there. Yep. Exactly.
See, I've been hitting this way and loosen to cut the through.
Yeah. So you just
Cut
want
the
to.
point. You need to be flat.
Yes.
Okay, take a big one. All right. So when I change to go to this side,
That's it.
in, see how you're bringing this puller around? Look at my body position if I'm going to do that. Okay? So I'm going to get here. I'm going to always make sure that puller and my hammer hit at 90 degrees. Okay? When I'm here, I'm going to do the same thing. The trap that's easy to fall into is to do this, where we just let it keep coming around. So like here, I maintain this and move the shoe under the puller. Here, I just keep letting that come around, it doesn't matter where I sit. So get a heat on that and we'll help you out with it.
Three-quarter is what they call a square stop, so it doesn't spin before. So it'll actually keep for a better right?
Why are you leaving? I need your help. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come in here. One training. The definition of the offset or toe bend is just too much arc at one training wheel and not enough at the other. So I hit there and I look.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about all this videoing I do. Yeah. Well, I learn so much more while I'm reviewing the footage and editing and trying to put something together.
I'm not gonna lie, that clinic in California was awesome. We were stuck sitting at a horse show. We were just sitting there watching.
Yeah, you like that? Thank you. You should comment more. Oh, I understand. Me, I'm turning into that. Yeah.
It wasn't just she was faxing the paperwork.
The problem was I was playing catch up on some of it, so I couldn't be like, at one point in time where I'm like, I can't hear.
Hey, you need anything? Food, sandwich, water? All right. No, you're not.
No, I am.
Huh? You're drowning? And it's only in sweat. You're surfing this shit, bro. I don't mean anything. I mean, Jesus working back and forth on 3 stations.
That's what I do every day.
Well, true. Yeah.
That's it. I wish I would get along with my country. Very. Okay, yeah.
I get along with her.
Oh, man.
That's the only time you guys think.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I was when we went to bed last night. I was going, oh no, what have I done? Yeah. Well, it was just one of those rainy, dreary. Like plenty of good stuff happened. Like we got a lot of cool hangouts, and you know, it was just so underwhelming compared to what I was used to coming here. Oh yeah, a few times. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually packed. Yeah. Well, and that's part of where I got the idea, you know, because like when we come down here, we'd all be kind of scrambling for a coke fire, you know, or to take somewhere where to work. And I was like, you know, like wouldn't it be cool just to have a trailer of extra coke stations to take to contests and stuff, meet guys there that would fly in, you know what I mean, and go to clinics and just set up extra stations, you know, to do more hands-on things for people that are kind of haven't bought a coke fire yet, you know. It's working. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I want to add 3 propane stations to this kit too. Yeah, I gotta find sponsors to help me buy my trailer, because like this wreck that we had trying to get this stuff here was excessive. Yeah. Craig makes it look easy, right? Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine trying to carry all that down there. Like the work he went through to put that together. Can you imagine? I can't. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely led the way. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, when I had 3 Coke, when I had 3, I bet if I had my 3 propane stations here, they'd all be full, 2 people apiece.
But I may talk to the world with them and say, hey,
any contest or clinic within reach that asked me to come. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And how many more would you have fly in if they knew they were rolling into a good station? Or how many would show up if they knew they were going to get some one-on-one clinic time at a station? But, you know, so like that was a thing for me, right? Like trying to bridge the gap. Like I was so uneasy working on other people's equipment and trying to bridge the gap when I was trying to get involved, you know. And finally somebody gave me a station. Dusty gave me a station to use, you know, or I'd have probably not gotten started.
good and bad certified.
That's another guy.
Yeah. 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 You know, like Dusty was already Dusty before I met him, you know. And so and then we became pretty quick friends. But, you know, so there's a ton of backstory there. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not like Dusty sits around talking about it.
And I realized
I see how much work he does now, so I can imagine the work he had to do to.
I felt like score-wise, it would squeak by, but I didn't feel like it was really work. And I was like, and he looked at me and he was like, you're doing fine. And then when I killed a gas, I told him the same thing. Because he asked me to make one with the passenger. But I told him,
So are you a WSCB?
Sorry.
Well, pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to Madison.
Oh yeah, they got you stuck there.
Yeah, we had done, so WCB was on my radar all this year.
Are you guys working at this station? Yes, sir, we are. Just, you know the rule. If I'm in the way, push. Hey, you know. It wouldn't be the first time somebody caught me on fire for being in the way. Yeah.
You are pretty certain. We ended up having to move the clinic. Yeah. LFA hadn't gotten around to announcing yet, so double check the
Gotta be a little crazy.
He hasn't run through the hills yet, though, so there's that. What do you need, Jake?
You want to point this camera for me for a little bit? I'll be right
no, right out there. We're going to pick it up, we're going to clean up, we're going to flatten it out for you. And then we're going to flush it, and I'm going to throw that thing on. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So this, you want me to this way? You didn't tell me it was camera was supposed to be watching. You said point it.
We figured it out.
Is it this one, the front, or that one?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, one's just an area shot, so as long as you were running one of them, the other one was just doing
And that one.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You were gone, and I'm like,
As long as it's not on the ground when I get back, you can't do it wrong.
With an inside and outside, our inside branch is going to be shorter than our outside branch. Okay, so I'm not just, I'm not just horribly upset about where that's at right now.
Okay.
So I think I would go ahead and get my fuller and mark.
Should be boxed a little better here
A little bit,
to meet this corner.
a little bit better heel check wouldn't hurt, but you know we're.
Just clean.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're. So I think what I'd start with is let's go ahead and get our fuller and mark. Get our fuller and mark, and then you can mark our fuller. Never driven a hot nail. There you go. Now you can go ahead and pin that up. Pin that up, and then I'll pull my branch, you pull your branch.
I think and several of them were in my opinion. My goal is to add 3 propane for like regular, everyday type stations. That's what I gotta buy a trailer first. Getting all this stuff here with rust. Yeah, it's money. It'll show up when it's time. Always does.
I'm learning how to do stuff, but the first one I
remember what I told you about the massage?
Right now.
I'm not going to freak out because I know that I will get
Hey, F-bomb. My great-grandchildren are going to watch this.
Sorry.
You don't have to be too sorry.
I'm like very sorry.
The only reason I have to say anything is because I'll start doing it. Yeah, I'll start doing it.
Are we live?
We are live. I'm always live.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were live.
I'm always live. I'm telling you, that's my next round of shirts. Assume I'm live.
I've always singularly not in my home business. Flip it over. I was in the city. Flip it over in the fire.
Well, he's building stuff.
All right, Jason, we're making a shoe. You need a back.
What are we building? What are we building?
3/4 fuller.
He didn't know how he got drunk.
Yeah, it was easy. She was all like, hey. I was showing heel.